Most people believe they are haunted by the past. They think their pain comes from mistakes they made, opportunities they missed, or choices they wish they could change. But sometimes the real source of suffering is something else entirely. Many people are not grieving the life they lived. They are grieving a life that never existed. Somewhere in their mind, they created a different version of the future. A version where the right choices were made, the right people stayed, and everything unfolded exactly as they hoped. Over time, that imagined life became so familiar that it started to feel real. Not real in the world, but real enough to become a constant point of comparison. Every disappointment was measured against it. Every setback was compared to it. Even ordinary moments felt smaller because they could never compete with the fantasy. The problem is that this imagined life never truly existed. It was a possibility, a hope, a story about what the future might become. Yet people spend years trying to return to it. They revisit old decisions, replay old memories, and wonder how everything could have turned out differently. They convince themselves that one conversation, one opportunity, or one choice would have changed everything. Somewhere along the way, they believe they took the wrong path. But life is not a map with one perfect route. There was never a guarantee that the imagined future would have unfolded the way they now picture it. The mind rarely shows the complete story. It removes uncertainty, struggle, failure, and disappointment. It keeps only the parts it wants to remember. What remains is a beautiful illusion, a life that seems perfect only because it never had to face reality. This is why the imagined life often feels better than the real one. Reality contains compromises, mistakes, and unexpected turns. Fantasy contains only what we choose to keep. As the years pass, the comparison becomes exhausting. A person stops seeing their actual life for what it is and starts judging it against a version that never had to survive the real world. The tragedy is not that the imagined life was lost. The tragedy is that it was never available in the first place. You cannot return to something that never existed. You cannot recover a future that was only a possibility. Yet many people spend years trying. They carry this imaginary version of life into every new chapter. Relationships, careers, friendships, and personal goals are all measured against a standard that exists nowhere except in the mind. Sometimes they even reject good things because those things do not resemble the fantasy they created years ago. The imagined life becomes a silent companion that follows them everywhere. No matter what happens, it continues the same question. What if things had gone differently? The question feels important because it promises answers, but it has no answer. The imagined future exists only in the imagination, where it can never be tested, challenged, or proven wrong. This is precisely why it remains so powerful. Reality can disappoint us. Fantasy never has to. Eventually, there comes a moment when a person begins to see the truth. Not with anger, not with bitterness, simply with clarity. The life they keep mourning was never stolen, taken away, or destroyed. The truth is far simpler. It was imagined. And there is something strangely freeing about that realization. Because if the life never existed, then perhaps there is nothing left to recover. Perhaps there is no missing chapter waiting to be found. No perfect version of yourself waiting somewhere in the past. Perhaps there is only this life. This imperfect, unfinished, complicated life that is happening right now. The life that contains mistakes, scars, uncertainty, and unanswered questions. But also, the life that is real. The moment we stop chasing the imaginary version, we begin seeing the value of the one we actually have. Not because it is perfect, not because it matches every dream we once had, but because it is alive, present, and still unfolding. Sometimes the hardest thing to let go of is not the life you lost. It is the life that never happened. And perhaps peace begins the moment you stop searching for a door that was never there and finally turn toward the life that is.